Good morning, America. And we hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. If any of you all around when I have to meet my day, please tell them not to give me a long funeral. And sometime I wonder what is it that I want them to say on that day when I become victimized. What is life final common denominator? It means death. And if you get somebody to deliver my unity, tell them not to talk too long. And sometime I wonder, what is it that I want them to say? Tell them not to mention the fact I own 300 or 400 abroad wars. That's not important. Tell them not to mention the fact where I went to school. That's not important. Tell them I own Nobel Peace Prize. That's not important. But what I'd like for them to say on that day when I become victimized, Martin Luther King Jr. gave his life up serving others. If you want to say that I was a drum major, say that I was a drum major for righteousness, a drum major for truth, and all of the gallant things in life. I want to share a story with all my viewers. It was one day I was called down into Montgomery, Alabama. They called me down and asked me to speak at a steering committee. I couldn't say no. And soon after the meeting was over, I went home and I got in bed. It was around midnight and the phone rang. On the other end, there was a nasty voice. The voice said to me, "Nigger, if you're not out of here in 3 days, I'm going to blow your brains out and I'm going to blow up your house." And I never will forget that night. I got up out of bed and I went in the kitchen and I fixed some coffee. I thought maybe coffee will calm my nerve down. I began to pull back on the theology and the philosophy that I studied back in the universe, trying to give theological and pathological reason as to why do we have so much sin and evil in this world. But soon the message didn't come to me. I started thinking about my 4 little children over there in bed, thinking about the fact they can be taken from me and I can be taken from them. I started thinking about that dedicated, devoted wife who was over there asleep. Thinking about the fact she can be taken from me and I can be taken from her. And something said to me, you can't call on your mama, she's not around. You can't even call on your daddy, he's not around. You must call on that person that your mom and your daddy used to tell you about. That power that can make a way out of no way. I never will forget that night. I bowed down over that cup of coffee. And I said, Lord, I'm weak now. I'm faltering. And I'm losing my courage. And at that moment, it seemed as though I heard the lightning flash. I heard the thunder roll. I heard something dazzling my body, and I heard the word of Jesus saying to me, Martin, stand up. Stand up for righteousness. Stand up for justice. Stand up for truth. And behold, I will be with you, even to the end of this world. And I want the American people to know that I have a dream that this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. And I want you to know I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, the sons of former slave and the former slave owner, we will be able to sit down at the table of brotherhood, I have a dream today. I have a dream that even the state of Mississippi, a state that is welcomed with a heat of oppression, that its governors live with the word of interposition and notification. This down in Alabama will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream today, and I want you to know I have a dream that my 4 little children will not be living in a land where they would only be judged by the color of their skin and not by the content of their character. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day down in Alabama, where this vicious racist, where this governor having his lip dipping with the word of interposition and notification. And right down in Alabama, little black boys and little black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and little white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today. America, we must stand strong. I have a dream that one day that every valley shall be exalted. Every hill and mountain shall be made low. The rough places be made plain, and the crooked places be made straight. And the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. This is our hope. This is the faith we go back to the South with. With this faith, we will be able to hear out the mountains of despair and stone of hope. With this faith, we will be able to transform the jangling discord of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood. With this faith, we will be able to work together, go to jail together, pray together, and stand up for freedom together, and knowing that one day that we will be free. This will be the day. This will be the day we will all be singing in words of new meaning. So let freedom ring. So let freedom ring from the bodacious hilltops of Colorado. So let freedom ring from the lookout mountains of Georgia. So let freedom ring from the curvaceous slopes of California. And let freedom ring from the lookout mountains of Tennessee. Let freedom ring from every hill and more hills of Mississippi and every mountainside. When we allow freedom to ring from every village and every hamlet and every city and every state, we will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men, white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, we will be able to join hands and sing in the word of the old Negro spirit. Free at last, thank God Almighty, we're free at last.